Once when I was 5, I was at the grocery store when suddenly I heard loud voices behind me. A mean-looking woman was screaming at my sister Nancy for taking the last toilet roll. Oh no, I knew what was coming next.
Don't you shout at her, you witch! She's gonna faint!
I caught Nancy just before she hit the ground. The woman looked shocked and someone started calling an ambulance.
Don't worry, I can take care of this.
And with that, I started rocking Nancy and singing in a calm voice.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, you're a dummy, yes you are.
Everyone was looking at me like I was crazy, but Nancy opened her eyes soon. I helped her get up, and as we were leaving, I stomped on the woman's foot. Hi, my name is Mira, and I was born 15 years after my sister Nancy. And ever since I can remember, Nancy's had this crazy problem called cataplexy. Every time she's really angry or stressed, she faints. One time, a bully in the park pushed me off the swing, and as Nancy stepped forward to yell at her, she just fainted on top of her. I couldn't stop laughing as the girl screamed till her parents came to her rescue. Mom worked as a maid, and we were poor, but we were happy together. I was especially close to Nancy because she always had my back, and I had hers. Soon after I'd passed 8th grade, Nancy came home with some great news one day. She'd been hired as a teacher in a private school, and I could attend it for free. I was awestruck on my first day there. Everything and everyone was so fancy. When the bell rang for recess, a girl named Lexi shrieked,
OMG, let's go outside. My parents must be here with my birthday present.
And she and her minions rudely pushed me aside on their way out. I followed them out of curiosity, and my jaw dropped when I saw a pink sports car drive up and her parents jumped out. But suddenly, Lexi went ballistic.
Are you kidding me, Daddy? A Mercedes? My name is freaking Lexi, and I wanted a freaking Lexus with a number plate saying Lexi. Are you guys morons? You're ruining my life.
And then she started pulling her dad's hair, and he started crying and apologizing. Gosh, what planet were these people from? Well, now I was on the planet of jerks too, and Lexi was the president. One day in class, the teacher was testing out our mental math skills and asked, "What's the probability of rolling an even number on a dice?" Lexi's hand instantly shot up.
I don't know, but it's definitely higher than the probability of you ever finding a boyfriend. Loser.
As the teacher's face turned red, I felt terrible. Hey, that's really rude. Didn't anyone teach you any manners? The class fell silent, and Lexi stared at me like I'd killed her cat.
You think I can't tell how poor you are? Someone like you shouldn't be messing with someone like me. That was stupid times infinity.
After that, she made it her life's mission to make me miserable. I'd find stinky tuna in my locker, orange juice all over my notebooks, my bag in the toilet. And even though I was doing great at school and the teachers loved me, no one dared say anything to Lexi because her parents were big donors. But then she went too far. One day, I was having lunch when Lexi came over, and she climbed onto the table and kicked my plate away.
Kiss my shoes, loser, and I'll make you part of my gang. We could use a nerd to do our homework.
I'd had enough. I got up to kick her butt when suddenly Nancy walked in and pulled her down. "What do you think you're doing? Stay away from my sister."
Sister? Wow, I do see the resemblance actually. You both look like some homeless people let you borrow their clothes.
Nancy looked furious, and next thing I knew, she'd fainted smack onto Lexi with her food tray. Lexi went mental and stormed off straight to the principal.
That teacher attacked me, and she ruined my limited edition Gucci dress. I'll report her to the police.
She has a health issue, you psycho. She didn't do it on purpose.
I want her fired.
Even though the principal was sympathetic, she said she had to let Nancy go. But since I was a good student, she'd let me stay on scholarship. I was so furious. I decided I was gonna leave anyway, but Nancy wouldn't hear it. "You have a chance to get a great college scholarship if you study here, Mira. I'm sorry I made things worse for you, but you have to go." With Nancy losing her job, I knew money would be tight again, and I didn't want her and Mom worrying. So I found a tutor's job and started teaching math to a couple of super spoiled brats. One evening when I was leaving their house, their snooty mom handed me a bag of trash and a large painting. Someone gave me this butt-ugly painting as a gift. Be a dear and throw this on your way out. God, why were rich people so awful? She didn't even say please. I shoved the stuff in the garbage dump, but then I turned around and picked up the painting. Nancy would probably like it, but I wasn't expecting her reaction when she saw it. This artist is really famous, and it looks like an original. She asked you to throw it away? We took it to an art gallery the next day, and the owner confirmed that it was an original. He told us to sell it at an upcoming auction, and we did. As the number went higher and higher, Nancy fainted. It was finally sold to the highest bidder for freaking $2 million. What? We went into complete shock for a minute, and then we started hugging and dancing for joy. We were rich from some rich idiot's trash. And just like that, our lives changed. We moved into a better apartment immediately and decided to spoil ourselves a little. The three of us went on a shopping spree, got spa treatments and makeovers, had a few fancy dinners. We had a blast. And when I walked into school after the weekend, I could instantly feel all eyes on me. As I put my stuff away in the locker, I closed the door to find Lexi standing behind it like a creep. And then I saw we were wearing the exact same outfit.
You have to take your clothes off. What? How can you even afford this? And no one is allowed to wear the same clothes to school as me. Now, just take these gym clothes and go change.
Lexi, you can bully your friends and parents and teachers to get your way, but it's never going to happen with me. Like, ever. To make things even better, someone posted a picture of us and started an Instagram poll of who wore it better, and the majority voted for me. When Lexi saw that, she snatched all of her friends' phones and smashed them into the wall one by one. And just like that, a war had started between us. I already had better grades, and now I had just as many friends and boys around me. One time at a big football match, Lexi was busy flirting with all the jocks, but the minute I sat down on the bleachers, the whole team came running towards me. I'll be playing for you today, Mira. Don't miss my moves out there, babe. That was weird, but it seemed to be making Lexi livid. So I blew them all kisses and said I'd be cheering them on. And when they won, they literally carried me off on their shoulders to the celebration party. But the final straw was when the student council elections came around. Usually, no one even bothered to stand against Lexi as president, but I decided to run, and I won by a freaking landslide.
This is not possible. I want to recount. I smell foul play.
Lexi, it's about time you understood that people might fear you, but they'd rather vote for someone they actually like, and that's not you. I won fair and square, so deal with it. Well, she did deal with it. In a way, I didn't see coming. I'd been working for months with my teacher on a math research paper for a university competition. Winning it could get me a full scholarship after high school. So when my teacher called me one evening to say that I'd won first prize, I fell off my chair at the dining table. Mom and Nancy were so proud of me. But when I went to the principal's office to meet the university dean, I was shocked to find Lexi there with her parents. What are you doing here, Lexi?
What are you doing here, Mira? I'm here to talk more about the prize and scholarship I just won.
I looked around at everyone in shock, and then I just snapped. Oh my God, you mean the scholarship you just bought with mommy and daddy's money? Because you sure as heck aren't smart enough to win anything. Lexi snarled and attacked me, pushed me straight onto the principal's desk. I grabbed a bottle of ink and flung it into her eyes. As the principal screamed and Lexi's parents tried to stop her, she just kicked them. When the grown-ups finally managed to pull us apart, the principal was furious. That's it. I don't care how much you donate, sir. One more incident like this and Lexi will be expelled. And with that, she pushed us all out. As I was about to storm off angrily, I turned to Lexi's parents. You guys have raised a monster. Can't you see she has no respect for anything or anyone? Not even you? You can buy her everything she wants, and she's never going to love you or thank you for it. For the next few days, I pretended like Lexi didn't even exist. And then she didn't come to school for a week. No one was happier than me. But one night, Nancy and I were driving through her neighborhood when we crossed her house, and it seemed pitch dark. Had she left town? I asked Nancy to stop for a minute, and I walked up to the house to look through a window. I found Lexi sitting with her parents on the floor, eating with candles on. There was no furniture. What was going on? I can't even see what garbage I'm eating. How can we not have any electricity?
This is what it means to be broke, Lexi. We can't pay for things.
Ugh, I hate you, Dad. I can't live like this. I wish I'd never been born to a loser like you.
It's not my fault the market crashed. You want me to put you up for adoption? That girl Mira was right. You're awful.
I sneaked away from her house, feeling super weird. Lexi was poor now? The next day at school, I saw Lexi was back, but she was cornered by the other girls from class.
Is it true, Lexi? The paper said your dad is totally broke. Are you too poor to afford shampoo now? Your hair looks like it hasn't been washed in a week. Gross.
I was about to walk away, but something about Lexi's tear-stained face made me stop, and I pushed through them. Can everyone please, for once, stop being a big jerk around here? You don't have to punch somebody when they're already down. With that, I took Lexi's hand and led her away from the rest. She wiped away her tears and stared at me in shock.
Why did you do that? Why would you help me?
You certainly don't deserve it, but it was the right thing to do. I don't think someone as heartless as you would really understand that. That was the last I ever spoke to Lexi. Her locker was cleared up soon after, and she and her parents left town for good. But I got a call the very next day from the university dean, offering me the scholarship again. No thank you, sir. I've lost all respect for you and your university, because anyone could buy you if they had enough money. And 2 years later, I'm graduating high school with honors and going off to my dream university. Hi, my name is Hermione, and I'm from Greece. Please like and subscribe. My dad left before I was born, but I grew up with the most amazing mom, who was a hairdresser at a really fancy salon. But when I was 10, I ran into the salon one day to show Mom my report card while she was working on a beautiful woman. Suddenly, I tripped over something and went flying straight into Mom, who ended up snipping off half the woman's hair. And she went ballistic.
You moron! What have you done? I look like a hideous boy.
Oh, I'll make sure you never work in this town again. And before I knew it, Mom was fired. I was really sorry, but she wouldn't hear it. It was an accident, darling. Don't worry, I'll find another job. But the woman wasn't kidding. Mom couldn't get a job anywhere in town as a hairdresser. And soon enough, we were too broke to even make rent. Then one day, Mom said she'd talk to her older sister and we'd be moving to another town to live with her. I'd never met this aunt before. And when we got to her house, my jaw dropped. Her mansion looked as big as the Parthenon. As a maid let us in, a plump woman dressed in expensive clothes walked into the hall. My aunt! I rushed forward to hug her, but she stopped me. What are you doing? Don't touch me. Just do a curtsy. Who was she? The freaking wife of Zeus? Just then, a pretty girl about my age came running in, and she stomped on my foot.
You're ugly. I can't believe you're my cousin.
Wow, I had to live with these people now? Of all the rooms in the mansion, Aunt gave me and my mom the dusty old attic to share. And at dinner time, I could feel her eyes on me as I helped myself to more food. She seemed to be the cheapest millionaire ever, but I promised I'd behave well and not cause Mom any trouble, which was easier said than done. My cousin Lydia was a year older than me, and I soon discovered that Aunt was obsessed with making her a model. One day, I found Lydia balancing a pile of books on her head, while her trainer screamed at her to walk straight without dropping them. The very next second, they all came crashing.
Lydia, you have no balance, no grace. How will you be a model?
You, skinny girl, come try this. To my surprise, I walked across the room with the books easily. Lydia angrily tried again, and this time, she went crashing into a very expensive vase.
Mom, look what Hermione did.
What? Aunt came charging into the room like an angry bull, and no matter how much I protested, she wouldn't hear a word. And she actually took money from Mom to pay for it, which was her 2 months' salary. Gosh, Aunt was such a witch. Soon after, Mom got me enrolled in the same school as Lydia. On the very first day, I'd just sat down at the cafeteria, where she and her friends joined me.
We thought we'd give you company. You've clearly made no friends.
I'm fine, actually.
So, Lydia tells us you're her maid's daughter?
It's so amazing that her mom is paying for your school. What? No, she's not. My mom is...
Ew, your mom packed you meatballs for lunch? So uncool. We only eat salads.
Well, I guess you have to watch what you're eating. Suddenly, Lydia leapt forward angrily and rubbed my lunch all over my face.
Did you just call me fat? Call me that again, and I will end you.
With that, she and her friends walked away. I wanted to kick her butt so bad, but I didn't want to get into trouble. I just tried to keep my head down and focus on my studies. But Lydia and her friends would find some way to bully me. And it didn't help that I looked really bad in Lydia's oversized hand-me-downs. When Lydia's 15th birthday came around, Aunt threw her a huge birthday bash. And even though she had tons of servants, she made me slave away in the kitchen too. I finally managed to escape and snuck up to the table with a plate. Just then, Lydia came running and snatched it.
What do you think you're doing?
Are you stupid? I'm about to eat, so give that back.
No, it's my birthday and I decide who eats, and you can't.
Oh, yes, I will. What you gonna do? Go crying to mommy, you big baby?
What did you just call me?
I said, you're a big baby. With that, I grabbed a chunk of cake and threw it at her face. She pounced on me and we went crashing straight into the food table. As we threw food at each other, Lydia's friends also joined in and a food fight broke out. When Aunt arrived at the scene, she started screaming like a maniac and all the kids fled, while Lydia burst into tears that her birthday was ruined. And then Aunt turned to me.
You clean up this mess right now, or I'll throw you and your mother out tonight.
Do what you like, you miserable creature. I'm not cleaning. I grabbed some food, dashed to my room, and locked myself up. Oh God, what had I just done? A few hours passed, and no one came to my room. I was beginning to get worried why Mom wasn't home yet, so I snuck down quietly to find her wiping the walls and floors clean. Mom, why are you doing that? I'm really sorry. I'll do it. It's okay, Hermione. I feel awful that you have to live here because I can't afford a place. I promise, someday we'll leave, but we can't just yet. You don't have to feel bad about anything. I'll be good. I'll even say sorry to Aunt. But I don't understand how you two are even related. We never got along, even as kids. She always wanted to have everything I had. Now she has so much more, and she's still a witch. We both burst out laughing as we cleaned the mess. I'd put up with anything as long as I had Mom by my side. But after the birthday, Lydia and her friends were being a lot meaner at school. One day during recess, she and her friends started hounding me in the corner.
Hey, Twiggy, you're light as a stick, I'm sure.
Oh, she is. Why don't you go see for yourself?
Suddenly, the guy just picked me up as I kicked and screamed. Let me go! Put me down right now! But they threw me in the janitor's closet and locked it. Just then, I heard them all running off, and seconds later, the principal opened the door. He'd seen everything, and he punished the bullies by suspending them for a week. And when I got home, who was Aunt furious at? Me! It's your fault my darling was suspended. She's just a kid, and she's never been punished for anything in her life. I'm a kid too, and she got punished for bullying me. Well, if she's getting punished, you will too. You'll serve all the guests at my party tomorrow, or else. I didn't want Mom to suffer again, so I kept my mouth shut. Aunt's party was full of super rich friends, and I was busy serving them when a lady caught up with me. Hi, you're really pretty. Are you interested in modeling? Before I could answer, Aunt interrupted. Her? A model? No. She's just a maid. Don't waste your time on her. But you're naturally built for a model. You're perfect. I can see you being Miss World, I tell you. Turns out the lady was the owner of a big fashion magazine, and she wanted to have me as her cover page model.
What? That was supposed to be Lydia, not this stupid maid.
Well, darling, I'm sorry. Lydia isn't fit for my magazine. Aunt went totally bonkers. She grabbed the woman's drink and threw it in her face. Then she started screaming at everyone.
Party's over. Everyone, get out. And you You're grounded.
But when I told Mom later all about it, she was so excited. She insisted we'd go together to meet this woman. We went to the lady's office the very next day, and she was really happy that I showed up. She immediately signed me up for a big magazine shoot. I woke up super pumped on the day, but seconds later, I was screaming at my reflection, that which Lydia had chopped off my hair in my sleep. I looked terrible, but Mom came to the rescue. She gave me a beautiful pixie cut, and the magazine lady absolutely loved it. And I totally nailed the shoot. Everyone thought I was a natural. Within the next 6 months, I was on lots of magazine covers and billboards, and suddenly, things at school changed too. I was no longer the skinny kid with hand-me-downs. I was the popular model kid now, with a wardrobe that fit me just right. And the best part was watching Lydia burn. A few weeks later, there was a fashion show at school, and Lydia immediately signed up for it too. On the day of the event, I decided to take a quick shower in the gym before getting ready. But as I stepped out, I saw to my horror that Lydia had gathered all my clothes, and she just grinned at me and she walked out. Oh my God, what was I gonna do without any clothes? I looked around and the only thing I saw were the curtains. I quickly pulled them down and made them into a dress with safety pins, and it didn't look half bad. Lydia looked shocked when I walked down the ramp in my curtain dress and blew her a kiss. When I was announced as the winner, she went insane. She literally jumped on me, trying to snatch the trophy away. She would have poked my eye out if some teachers hadn't rescued me. That night, I was walking down to the kitchen when I heard Lydia and Aunt talking about me. "Just make her go away, Mom. I can't stand her anymore. She's ruining my life."
Okay, baby. I'll get rid of her somehow. You know, I got rid of her father too a long time ago.
Wait, what? Got rid of my father? Is that what you just said?
What are you doing here? Can't I have some privacy in my own house?
Just shut up and tell me what you meant about Dad.
Yes, I got rid of him. After my stupid husband left me, I fell in love with your father, but he fell head over heels in love with your stupid mom. I couldn't stand it. So I convinced him that your mom was pregnant with someone else's child, and he left. If I couldn't have him, no one could.
While I stared at her speechless, I heard Mom behind me. How could you do this to me?
All these years, I thought it was him, but it was actually you. Are you completely crazy? Why should you have everything? You didn't deserve him anyway. I would have given him the world.
But before she could finish, Mom leapt forward and slapped her hard.
You've had this coming for a long time. Come, Hermione. We aren't staying here another minute.
We packed our bags and checked into a hotel for a few days. We decided that the first thing we had to do was track down Dad. Mom started calling up their mutual contacts, and luckily, we found out soon that Dad lived in another city now, and that he owned a $1 million company. My dad was a millionaire? The very next day, we flew over and showed up at his company. Mom asked me to wait outside while she went to talk to him in his office. Half an hour later, Mom called me excitedly. As soon as Dad saw me, he hugged me tight.
I can't believe you're my daughter. This is a lot to take in. I'm so sorry for leaving. I should have been there for you. I never should have believed your aunt's lies. I never want to spend another minute without you both.
He then showed us a picture of Mom in his wallet and said he'd never gotten married because he'd never loved anyone the same way again. Soon after we moved in with Dad, I planned a wedding for my parents because they never got the chance earlier. I decided to personally invite Aunt, so I went to her place.
Come begging for a place to stay again, haven't you?
I handed her the wedding card. I'm rich enough to buy your house now, but that's not why I'm here. The wedding is next week. You and your daughter can come to witness that true love can't be separated, but evil people always end up alone in a big house. You are the best example. I walked out and I never saw her again. I was my mom's bridesmaid at the wedding, and it was the happiest moment of my life to see her get everything she truly deserved. And now I'm living my best life with my family.